Today is the Preakness Stakes, and last year I made a video of the dinner party and Preakness Stakes. And I wasn't planning to listen to the video that I made last year. Usually I don't, but I decided to listen to it because I wanted to see if there's any insights that I could pick up from the video I made last year to this year. And if you looked at my title, I mentioned about the influence of Golden Gate Fields. This time last year, Golden Gate Fields was still operating, and so I'm still bummed out that it's closed. But um, and that title is something that actually provided me an insight in terms of betting on these two races today. Um, Last year, when I bet on the dinner party, I mentioned about Balnikhov. So I'm going to go over that race right now, the dinner parties, which is race 12 at Pimlico. So race 12 is the dinner party, which is the race before the Preakness Stakes. Last year on that video, I said my play of the day is Balnikhov. Balnikhov. Um, so the reason I noted it is that in the San Francisco Mile at Golden Gate Fields last year, I bet him on my superfecta box, and he came in third. And I thought, okay, using him, I was planning to use him for the dinner party because of the jockey change with Frankie Dettori. So I decided to say, I said that's going to be my play of the day, and he won. So I do plan to use Balnikhov in this year for the dinner party. He won't be my win place show bet as I did with him last year, but he will be in my exacta and trifecta boxes. The other horse I plan to play is Trickery. Last year on Kentucky Derby Day, he ran at the American Turf, and the day before the Derby last year, I was planning to bet on Trickery. Um, I I backed off, and one of the reasons I backed off was because I didn't do so well the day before the Derby on the Kentucky Oaks Day. So I was very hesitant, and then I decided not to play him. Big mistake because his odds was 46-1. So last year in the American Turf, he actually ran. If you look at his form, he won a race, finished second, and then won a race. Um, so he went off, I believe, at 46-1, and he ended up winning. And it was one of the bets. It was probably one of the biggest betting mistakes I ever made because I was planning to win one place across the board bet, win place show. I didn't. So he will be in my exact and trifecta box. His odds now is about 5-2, so I'm not going to put him in my. I'm not going to do a win place show, but he will be in my exacta and trifecta box. So the third horse that intrigues me the most is Crabs and Beer. The third horse that people are looking at is Fort Washington, but for me, it's Crabs and Beer. So Krabs and Beer actually last year at the dinner party, he ran second to Balnikhov. However, that day, the turf, if you notice, was soft. Yesterday it rained at Pimlico. Um, yeah, so I checked the weather today and the turf is firm. In addition, if you look at his Pimlico performance, he's run twice and he's finished in the money twice. He's had a second and he's had a third. So I believe that I'm using with his odds of 30-1, I believe. Yeah, 30-1 morning line odds. I'm going to use him in my exacta and trifecta box, and like I did with Balnikhov last year, this is going to be my play of the day. I'm going to do across the board win place across the show bet on Crabs and Beer, and I mentioned about the trifecta box. Um, I do think with the form, since Pimlico this year is going to be firm um, for this race, I think that if the turf was firm last year, I think he would beat Balnikhov. So when it comes to the trifecta box, I'm going to do a trifecta straight. I do think he'll finish above um, Balnikhov. So one of the straights I plan to use is Trickery first, Crabs and Beer, and Balnikhov. And the other trifecta straight I'll probably use is Crabs and Beer, Trickery, and Balnikhov. Um, so yeah, if that happens, whether if it's the box or the straight, if I and I win because of with the Crabs and Beer in the top three, I'll be elated. So after the dinner party is the Preakness Stakes, which is the main event, and the horse this the horse I plan to pick just for a win a win show place bet, just for fun, is Journalism. He was actually my Derby horse 2 weeks ago, and as I mentioned, if you look at the title, I said Golden Gate Influence. In 2021, Rombauer won the El Camino Real Derby at Golden Gate Fields. Later that year, he wins the Preakness Stakes. Um, and his trainer is Michael McCarthy. So, given that his trainer is the same trainer, given that journalist's trainer is the same trainer that trained Rombauer, I'm picking him in the win place show. A little small bet, just for fun. But he's going to be in my trifecta box. Um, what I plan to use in the 2021 Preakness Stakes, my trifecta box will be based off the trainers from the first three finishers. So the trainer of the first place was Michael McCarthy. In second place with the 2021 Preakness Stakes, the trainer of the second place horse was Steve Asmussen. And he has a horse this year in Clever Again. So Clever Again is a very intriguing horse. He's 5-1, and besides Journalism, he's the only horse that has 100 buyer speed figures. So I plan to use him also in my trifecta box. The third horse I'm going to use is Goal Oriented. The third place horse in the 2021 Preakness Stakes, I believe, was Medina Spirit, and he was trained by who won the Kentucky Derby, but was eventually disqualified. But he was trained by Bob Baffert. 2 weeks ago on Derby Day, Goal Oriented won an allowance race. It might not seem much, and it was sloppy, but last year there was another horse who ran on Derby Day, and he didn't run on the Kentucky Derby, but he ran the Pat Miles Stakes, and that was Seize the Gray, who won the Preakness Stakes last year. So even though there's several horses, there's a couple of horses here who ran the Kentucky Derby who are running the Preakness Stakes. I do plan to use Goal Oriented in my trifecta box. So in terms of gambling for the Preakness Stakes, I am basing it off the trainers who finished 1, 2, 3 in the 2021 Preakness Stakes. So Michael McCarthy finished first. Steve Asmussen finished second, and Bob Baffert finished third. It won't be a big payoff, but that's what I plan to do for this race. So yeah, that's sort of my insight right there for both the dinner party and Preakness Stakes. So, and hope I do well, and hope everybody else does well too. And as I say in my videos, you bet small to win big, and good luck to everyone.